Yeah, Chris, did you see any good questions any Q&A that we want to cover, or?
Yeah, I mean, we could try for a bit. So this is the last session, so we're allowed to run over, or rather, Alex will be doing a session in 3 hours, but I don't think we're going to run over that long. I don't know, it'd be cool if the panelists could turn on your videos and say, hey, for people to get a session. I don't know, somehow we move to people not showing their video, but if you're able to show your video and wait, I'm sure people would like to see that.
I believe most of the panelists are still on. I'm not sure if Robert's still around.
I actually can't tell if you can see me, so I've turned it on and I'm putting faith in this go-to meeting thing.
Yeah, you're crystal clear there. That's good.
Yeah, I don't know that the faith is warranted. I still don't see anybody. And I see myself frozen, and I hear the wood chipper.
Yeah, it's getting closer. Yeah, well, thanks everybody. You guys, a lot of great demos there. I mean, it's always impressive you can cram that amount of information into 5 minutes, so that's cool. I had one sort of general question about, given all the power that we've seen with cloud optimization, in the work that you're doing, where do you see the biggest remaining bottlenecks, either on the server side, maybe we heard about the impact of tile size on network traffic, or on the client side. So any feedback there on where you're still seeing performance bottlenecks, or even maybe cost bottlenecks, like impacts on what makes for more expensive hosting? I don't know, any feedback on either of those points?
So this is Nathan at Xavia. So maybe this answers your question. Maybe this is at least a flavor of answer. One problem, and it came up in the chat even for this webinar, one problem that comes up again and again is just that it is very difficult to find abstractions that just work. Just you plug in a data set and it just works. So there's a lot of tailoring solutions to the data sets you're working with, and obviously that's costly. That's developer hours. So I mean, one thing I'd like to see is continued work on. I actually am not a standards guy, and was kind of allergic to it until I started to see how valuable Stack can be. So this is out of character for me, but some standards around standards for advertising information around data sets that maybe allow for greater heuristics that will make decisions that are right in 99% of cases would be valuable.
And are you also thinking of something along the lines of maybe a validator, or some how the standard could return?
I was kind of, yeah, I was thinking of of tile JSON. I think this is another dev seed product. I could be wrong about that, but tile JSON I think is a step in the right direction. But yeah, I mean, tools that validate and check those assumptions, always useful. They get kind of they don't get enough development, when we're working on delivering features, but they really, in my experience, they dramatically improve the development experience. So that's what I'd like to see.
Yeah, and I guess if there's a lot of extensions involved as well, then you've got even more moving parts to track. So, any other comments along those lines?
I can take over. David here. I think we have seen all the challenges for coming up with a unified format for storing the dataset, and it's pretty challenging if you do that across all the domains, not only in AL imaging, but also, let's say, in connectomics or in self-driving cars and so on. So it's a pretty difficult task to come up with the right abstraction that can handle all the different edge cases and then support all the different use cases as well from their side. From our side, I think the bottleneck, as I mentioned in the talk as well, has been has been pretty challenging. What is the most efficient manner you can move the data from a cold storage like an S3 to the compute machine, and like getting up to the, not even trying to bypass the operating system to make it more efficient to drive the data set, the data from, let's say, networking card to the GPUs. And I think we are getting to this blend of the optimizations, hardware level optimizations that should be more efficient, should be enable much cheaper computations and make it much more efficient to run on this cloud. But so far, from our perspective, the data transfer has been the big challenge or the bottleneck, bringing this to the compute.
Okay.
I could add one observation, just from my point of view, and you guys may have covered this throughout the day in some other sessions, but just seeing providers of imagery and raster data give an option for delivering COG and cloud optimized data that, maybe it has to come at a premium in some cases, but that we could initialize cloud native processing workflows from bucket events and know that it's ready to stream directly. Now, that's not always the case with different imagery providers and processors. So that's something that I think could really open the doors through automation and analysis ready data.
So just a wider variety of COG offerings by the data providers. Yeah. David, there were a few questions just about sort of maybe the roadmap for cloud native support within sort of the Esri stack. Do you have any other comments there? Maybe
yeah, I did see, sorry to cut you off. I did see the one about CO cloud optimized point cloud. I don't have any definitive information about that, although I'm personally excited about that format and eager to get my hands into it. So yeah, I wish I had something definitive that I could report on that format. But ZAR, we have some other cloud native formats that you can use. Meta raster format is another open spec in OGC that works really great. And then we have some nice conventions that you can use with raster proxies, where you can actually enjoy some of the benefits and conveniences without necessarily having everything all staged and cloud optimized. So there's a lot of different ways to take steps towards a cloud optimized data strategy. And we just see at ArcGIS Pro 2.9 is when I believe we introduced the support for ZAR, both reading and writing. So I think those are some, and the stack introduction in the ArcGIS API for Python are some of the most recent additions.
Okay.
Other note, tomorrow, one of your colleagues, I think Matt Barra, is going to give a talk on I3S that I think is more closely related to Copic. It's not quite it's more the 3D tile stuff. But yeah, that should be another angle from, I think, a different corner of Esri from
Yeah, thank you for mentioning that. Yeah, Matt will be presenting the I3S, another open specification that covers that 3D.
Is that in the cloud optimized vector session, or which one?
I think it's in actually the Copic section.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Or it'll be a Copic overview, and then it's kind of like a wide range of talks, because yeah, Copic's a lot newer, so there's not lots of talks just on topic. But yeah, it's the one that Howard kicks off. I think it's the last session of the day, but it's more like noon.
All right. So Chris, did you see any other questions go by that you might want to cover? I don't know. We are a little bit over, but I'm not sure.
I have one question, which is for you, Dean. I didn't get to, I was going to do this at the beginning, but this is actually on Gitter much earlier in the day. But yeah, Dean's from Safe Software, and I actually looked at Safe to try to figure out COG support when I was quickly helping Jed put the slides together with all the logos, and I couldn't find a definitive answer. But then Dean today shared that Safe FME, I don't know, you wanted to share about Safe FME's general cloud native GIS support?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, we are a relatively new entrant to this space, but we do see tons of potential. And, you know, we've been working with Planet. We added a Planet reader some time ago. So we've been working with Chris and the gang over there. But more recently, specifically for COG, we added support. I'm happy to say we added support for COG in January in the FME 2022 version. So the one benefit there, of course, is that you've got, you know, the dozens or scores of raster formats that we can consume and then use that to load up into COG. And we are currently right now working on stack support. So I just double checked in our dev system today just to see what the progress was there. So that should be probably in 22.1 was the milestone I saw. And then ZAR and COPC or COPC, they're coming down the pipe. We do welcome your feedback. So, you know, test out what's there, and then for you know, emerging standards like the newer ones like ZAR and COPC, please do, you know, those of you who are FME users and like the kind of the data modeling, no code, spatial ETL kind of approach, you know, fire your feedback over, and you know, we can sort of use that to prioritize what we build next. But I think overall, we, you know, that's one of the reasons why we sponsored, was just we do see a ton of potential in this space for cloud optimization, and we certainly don't want to get in the way of progress by, you know, forcing people to download everything when you can just do an intelligent, let's say, you know, metadata query or whatever it takes. So yeah, please do provide your feedback and enhancement requests. Thanks for that, Chris.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I've been a big fan of FME for a while, and yeah, I was always like surprised that it wasn't quite there yet, but it's super awesome to hear that it's all coming and going to be there soon. Cool. I think with that, we'll wrap it up for this session. And then, yeah, we've got, I mean, at this point, 2 hours and 40 minutes. We're going to have a Australia Asia friendly session with a few speakers from over there, really awesome ones. So join that session if you know, are West Coast still up, and certainly I think we're getting a number of those people that's the good time zone for them joining now. So sign in then. I think it'll just be an hour. I think we can go over, we're finding that, yeah, talks go over a little bit, but that won't go into the next one. And then break for the day, and then I think it's like 5 or 6 hours later in early Europe times that I think most everyone here will likely be asleep when the day kicks off tomorrow, but tune in when you get up. And then I think we're going to try to post the videos after the session ends. We'll get a big YouTube, and then OGC is going to work on breaking it up and trying to post it. So knock on wood, we'll get that posted and people can start watching videos before the event even ends. And yeah, I think the schedule should be mostly up to date. There's a couple of minor tweaks, but yeah, I'd like to see everybody tomorrow, and thanks everybody for this panel for talking and everyone talking throughout the day. I think it's been super awesome so far.
Yeah, thanks to all of the presenters today. There were some great talks there, and thanks for your patience with you know, as we sometimes wrangle with the tech. But just Chris, so the link for the sessions, once they're uploaded on YouTube, it would be something on the website or sent out?
Yeah. Yeah, I think.
This is Greg. We'll have them sent out to all the attenders anyway. So we'll let you know when we get them. It'll take some time.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I think we'll probably post it on the schedule page. We'll post it all over once we have it. So I think we want to share this widely. So yeah, emails to you. I'm sure we'll tweet it from a few places, and we'll put it up on the websites as well. So
yeah, all right. And thanks also to all the organizers for putting this all together.
And thanks, Jonathan and Greg, for dealing, and everybody else at OGC for dealing with all the logistics. Very much appreciated. Yeah.
Great co-op with OGC. That's great.
Absolutely, it's what we're here for.
Okay.
Awesome.
Well, thanks for
have
having
a
us.
good
Thanks, everybody.